Sometimes, you might feel like everything is falling apart and you have no control over what's happening in your life. Even though things might look bad, you can always turn things around. Here's a 6-step guide to help you get your life back together. Step 1. Clean your room. You might be confused, but hear me out. When you're feeling overwhelmed, you might not take care of your living space. This leads you to have more clutter, and when everything around you is a mess, it can be hard to think clearly. By cleaning up your room, it can help you think more clearly. Also, by cleaning up your room, you essentially accomplish something. This can help you build some confidence that you can take control again and get things together. Step 2. Clean up the rest of your home. Just like the first step, it can help you think more clearly. Also, this is more difficult than the first step. If you complete this step, your confidence will go up again. The guide generally follows a process of doing harder and harder things with each step, because once you get some confidence from doing easier things, you'll be able to do the harder things. Make sure not to skip any steps. Step 3. Set a short-term goal for what you will get done tomorrow. You can set one goal or multiple depending on how you feel. The goals don't have to be anything too difficult. It can be simple things like you'll go on a 30-minute walk outside tomorrow, or you'll cook for yourself. By setting goals, it gives you something to look forward to. When you're overwhelmed, you might dread the moment and not know what to do, but when you set some goals, you will have a better idea of how things will play out. Also, when you set goals and think about accomplishing them, it makes you feel better. Step 4. Reflect if you're getting enough sleep and make the necessary changes. This step is going to require you to be honest with yourself. You might feel like you're getting enough sleep, but if you aren't getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, you're considered sleep deprived. When you're sleep deprived, your thinking ability won't be at its best. Although you might not feel sleep deprived, if you do get the recommended 7 to 8 hours of sleep, you will be able to think more clearly. Your mood will also be a lot better if you get those hours of sleep. If you're someone who isn't getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, you should fix your sleep schedule. If you don't know how to go about getting better sleep, I recommend reading the book Why We Sleep or watching some videos that can help. Step 5. Reflect if you are taking care of your physical health and make the necessary changes. The areas you want to reflect on are your eating and exercising habits. Are you skipping meals or binge eating? When you're overwhelmed, you might do those things, but they will only make you feel worse. Are you eating too much junk food? Junk food may be delicious, but too much of it makes you feel bloated and tired. Also, eating out too often can add up and get expensive. Think about your eating habits and make the necessary changes. If you don't know where to start, there are a lot of videos out there that can help. The same flow applies to exercise habits. Ask yourself if you're getting enough exercise every week. Exercise improves your mental clarity, your mood, and it can give you more energy. If you don't get enough exercise, you don't need to go to the gym. You can just go for short walks or do home workouts. Again, if you don't know where to start, there are a lot of videos out there that can help. Step 6. Ask yourself what you want. In this step, you'll be setting some long-term goals. Think about where you want to be 1 year from now. If you're having trouble with that, try thinking about where you want to be 1 month from now. If you're still having trouble, I would suggest you ask yourself, what would you do if money and time weren't an issue? If you can come up with something for that question, break it down into multiple steps and think about what you need to accomplish within 1 year or 1 month in order to get closer to where you want to be. If you're still having trouble, I would suggest finding someone to talk to and ask for advice. You should ask friends and family first, but the internet can also be a decent place. Make sure you don't decide something as your long-term goal just because someone recommends it. The point of talking to others is to help you filter out what you do and don't want to be. This is your life to live and not theirs, so make sure your goal is something you align with. Once you have your long-term goals, you should start working on them. As you work on your goals, be sure not to procrastinate and set up systems to help you stay focused. I don't know what situation you might be in or what you want to do in the future, but I do know that this guide can help you get your mind in the right place. Some of the steps might take longer than you think, but as long as you follow the steps, you will be able to take control of your life. Also, be sure to constantly revisit step 6, because priorities can change, and sometimes you might not enjoy the path you're on. It's okay to change things up if the current path you're on makes you unhappy. Which step did you like the most? Leave a comment below and check out the video shown on the end screen on how to start over again in life if you're starting over again.